Blog Talk Radio.
Am I chasing money or chasing a dream? I ride with my niggas, they riding for me. We playing to win and we planning it out. We making our moves and we making them count. We going overtime, we do not play the tie. In it to win, cruising on overdrive. Man, I feel so alive. Yeah, this is this. Hands in the air, you created for this. We shoot for the stars, but my shooters don't miss. I ride with my team and my team of dream chasers. Been working all night to be getting this paper. 24/7, my city don't sleep. I've been going in every day of the week. We going overtime. We gotta stay alive. We waited for this. We going suicide. This time ready to die. Waited for this. Hands in the air, you created for this. We shoot for the stars, but my shooters don't miss. I ride with my team and my team of dream chasers. Been working all night to be getting this paper. 24/7, my city don't sleep. I've been going in every day of the week. I've been thinking and taking this ride lately. If you think you can take this ride, come with me. Come with me. Tell the universe, give me air. Come get me, 'cause I'm ready. This belongs to me. This belongs to me. This belongs. This should be good.
Peace, everybody. It's your man Vic speaking to you live, and I'm thankful to be here live. There was a woman named Korrynn Gaines that was murdered trying to exercise her right to travel because she started to wake up to a few things. Problem is she was doing it all alone by herself. There was no woke man there to be supportive of her, unfortunately. So as much as this is not as easy to speak about as I thought. But maybe because it's a woman, another woman, and there's just a bunch of people out here who's continuing to perpetuate a system that will murder you if you don't fucking play with it the right way. So, is that right? Is it okay for someone to be murdered over traffic tickets? So you're trying to tell me if you owe money for a piece of paper to give more pieces of paper for it, then you have a license to kill. Whoever thinks that is fucking right, you probably are insane. There's a bunch of people, speaking, like she was insane. The racist people are coming out, and it's being quite evident how we are not a supported people in this system that we have here. yet people still continually fight for it, which is fine, but what are you actually fighting for? People don't even know what they're fighting for anymore. People are just, when someone comes out and they want to express, their right, instead of supporting that or trying to understand where they're coming from, we automatically put them black sheep on or whatever, and then we support the people that maybe put them in a worse position. If you start to look at some scholarly articles or whatnot, you start to realize that Taco Bell, fucking McDonald's, they cannot, Dunkin' Donuts, they cannot, they can hire their own private security, but when that private security starts going on to different places and, claiming rights and laws, which are actually statutes and codes, which are corporate statutes and codes, when you see USC, that's a corporation law. So how is a corporation law over human rights? Are humans not being treated, or when I say human, we got to even do more research into that. Maybe I should say living man, living woman. So are living women and living men less than a corporation? Are they, are corporations our daddies and our moms now? Like, when did that happen? Like, niggas, no one told me that. I try to stay, obviously I sound very well-spoken. I have a good education. But I'll tell you, man, the stuff that these people are doing can make anybody go outside of themselves. And unfortunately, in a sense, Crystal, Miss Gaines, almost manifested that for herself, unfortunately, which is sad to truthfully say. Yet at the same time, her greatness and her drive and her ability to, for what she believes in, I wish I knew her. I wish I was there for her. But then again, am I there for myself? We have to first be there for ourselves. Protections to, if someone comes in to try to enforce what they believe is right, we need to be able to express that we're going to not only stand with our power, but enforce it and not allow Taco Bell to come in to say that they are the rights. They hold the rights to our life, liberty, and happiness. If that were the case, wouldn't she be alive? If the government felt that you were a human being, a living human being that deserved to live, wouldn't you be alive to be able to do that? It doesn't seem like she's actually able to do that right now. And it's not funny, and it's not a game. To all those people that are scrolling past, the racist people, with their negative comments, calling her an animal, saying they're happy, I hope all of you get, all you classist, racist people, take your hoods off, your suit off, take your hood off, and show your face. Stop feeling like you need to hide behind a mask to be something. Because we're actually wondering where you're at. Why do we even have to give you energy? You know, why are you trying to take away our energy? Two lovely ladies just passed me by now. And if they were, you know, having to go through what Crystal went through, I mean, that's horrible. Why is it okay for people to do that to people? Why? Because it's not that these people are doing it and that's what makes it okay. It's because of the other people that stand and watch crimes and things go happen. You continually to okay, and I'm not gonna front. I mean, I've had my white friends and different people stand up and support and be there, but it's not enough. Not only do we need them to do that, but we need our own people to wake up and stand up. And then we also need the people that are awake to be fully supported. Now, for the people that are looking to express their right to travel, I do have a public servants questionnaire that I would suggest you put in your conveyance. I didn't put it on my site yet because you have to email me at vickensm@gmail.com, and then I'll send it to you. And it's a way that you can give them a piece of paper so that they can answer what they need to answer, allowing you to express your rights. Now, Crystal or whatnot was actually killed over not having, for having warrants and stuff like that from traffic tickets. Now, there was, Korrynn, my apologies, that is. Now, dang, this is fucking crazy. I mean, because maybe 2 weeks ago, we had another guy shot and killed. And maybe a couple days, after the funeral didn't even happen yet, I saw on Facebook, there was the energy and the time where people were expressing their dislike for it or whatnot. And then, people went back to normal. So I guess it's normal for us to care for a moment and then get over it. Maybe that's part of our human way of coping with things, which I guess is fine, but is it really? Can we do more? When you start to look at driver's license versus the right to travel, you start to see that driver's license is exactly that, a license to be able to do something, just like when you get a hair license, a bar license, the Supreme Court actually supposedly protects our rights to these things. Yeah, continually coerced and forced into it, over and over. So I just want you guys to listen to this and let me know what you think.
For Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. The scene evening, we're going to be discussing the issue of driver's license requirement here in the United States. What is a driver's license? Do you need a driver's license? Is there any law requiring you to have a driver's license? A driver's license is required for one who is conducting commerce on the highways. Now, if you're doing personal travel along the highways, personal transportation, there's no law saying that you need a driver's license. I'd like to read to you something here from Bovier's Law Dictionary. One employed in conducting a coach, carriage, wagon, or other vehicle with horses, mules, or other animals. Now, that is Bovier's definition of a driver. There's no mention about personal transportation in there or anything. Now, notice under Part 3 of that definition, it states that the driver must be of good habits for the journey and possess good skills. Because if he's not, and there's an accident or an injury, the driver and his employers, yes, that's right, I said employers, are responsible. Now, while the definition of driver does change a little bit over the years, there is a U.S. Supreme Court case.
Oh, no. Okay, well, technical difficulties with that one. But just from the gist of that, you got to see right away that driving with no license is not a crime. He started to even go into the Supreme Court cases. A driver is actually someone that gets paid to drive, man, woman. So when you wake up to that and you realize you don't own a taxi cab company, you don't own a livery service, you don't even fucking deliver to Dunkin' Donuts, Taco Bell, like, that's not your job. Yes, now someone's coming over, because the driver's license was only instituted not that long ago. Yet it's like a requirement at this point, supposedly, because millions of dollars are made, probably almost daily, enforcing. Yes, millions of dollars are made daily enforcing these statutes that aren't even realities. When you see these people driving around in black and white cars, or all black now, or now these niggas will have a GL Metro and stuff. But here,
licensed by state DMVs, and in connection with which individuals must submit personal information to the DMV. The operations of motor vehicles is itself intricately related to interstate commerce. Now, that was decided January 12th, 2000. Now, that is specifically what I'm getting at here, folks. There is no need to have a driver's license for personal transportation. There's no need to have a driver's license to operate your vehicle, to go down to the store to get some milk, to go to the bank, to take your kids to school, to go to work every day. There's no requirement. There's no law. It's all done under the color of law. It's all implied that this is the legal way to do things. Now, understand that there is a difference between lawful and legal. Two totally different things. Now, understand another very important issue. The DMV is a corporation doing business as the DMV. What they have done is implemented such methods as a driver's license, vehicle registration, and so on to extort money from the people under color of law. And it's quite simple. These methods guarantee profits for the DMV. Why? Because the DMV is a corporation. They're very important things to understand. There is no law obligating you to do these things. Personal travel is a constitutionally guaranteed right. Freedom of movement, mobility, or the right to travel are human rights. Understand that? Human rights, not...
Okay, guys, little minor setback, but as you can hear, these are human rights being taken from people. And you have a guy that's obviously Caucasian, which I know you're going to probably start to believe. You know, when you look at the different cases, for example, Wells versus Malloy, in Wells versus Malloy, 402F SUPP 856 in 1975, a lower federal district court stated that although a driver's license is an important property right in this age of the automobile, it does not follow that the right to drive is fundamental in a constitutional sense. So there's actually 3 federal Supreme Court decisions that state nationwide precedent that cannot be ignored. The Supreme Court is the final arbiter of law in the United States. Unless right to travel proponents can come up with a later Supreme Court ruling that states otherwise, their claim are busted. In Hess versus Pulowski, 274 U.S. 352 in 1927, motor vehicles are dangerous machines, and even when skillfully and carefully operated, their use is intended by serious danger to persons and property. In the public interest, the state may make and enforce regulations reasonably calculated to promote care on that part of all residents and non-residents likely to use it on highways. So in Wright versus Mealy, 314 U.S. 33, 1941, it states the use of public highways by motor vehicles when its consequent dangers renders the reasonableness and necessity of regulation apparent, a universal practice to register ownership of automobiles and to license their drivers. Any appropriate means adopted by the state to ensure competence and care on the part of its licensees and to protect others using the highways is constant with due process. Oh, right. These are federal cases on the right of states to regulate traffic. Traffic is not what you think cars, but traffic is currency moving along. So they can regulate their currency, but if they don't own it, it's not theirs. If you look up the definition of motor pool, you notice that your car, your conveyance, or whatever you want to, legally, lawfully call it, is not those definitions. I was on a wrong site, but let me get back to the truth. When these courts don't have proper jurisdiction, when they're operating as a corporation, they can only do business with a corporation. Therefore, they have to license a fellow corporation to be able to do business and to move along. But if you're not a corporation, you're not a legal person, you're an actual living man or woman, it doesn't apply to you. But when over time, when everyone forgets and they get licenses, they get birth certificates, they put themselves to the U.S. Corp as far as making sure that they're owned by them. These are things that kind of happen. We really need to start to understand that we cannot allow people to just take
government given or government granted rights, not corporate granted rights. They are human rights constitutionally guaranteed to you. Now, contrary to what the system tells you, travel is not a privilege. Operating your vehicle is not a privilege. However, if you are a driver using your vehicle for commerce, then you're required to have a driver's license. If you're using your vehicle to make a profit or for hire on the highways, then you are required to have a driver's license. Now, I'd like to show you a document. This is out of Michigan. This is a document that shows a constitutional driver's license and what it consists of. Now, if you'd like to read more about this in detail, you can go to the website listed on the screen. Now, understand a very, very important factor here is that drivers are not required to be licensed. Now, understand that. If you're a driver or operating your vehicle for personal use, you're not required to have a license unless you're employed or doing commerce. Licensing cannot be required of a free people. In order to have a driver's license, it requires the surrender of a right in order to comply with the restrictions of the driver's license. Does that sound like a free people? Doesn't sound like free to me. Now, I'd like to read you something from State versus Spokane. The right of the citizen to travel upon the highway and to transport his property thereon in the ordinary course of life and business differs radically and obviously from that of one who makes the highway his place of business for private gain in the running of a stagecoach or omnibus. Now understand that the term driver is a contradistinction to the term traveler. It's very important to understand these terms. A driver is one who is employed in conducting a vehicle. A traveler is one who is on a journey of a personal nature. The system has conveniently segued these things into requiring automobile insurance in order to guarantee profits for the insurance companies. It's very simple. What they have done is require the following. If your vehicle is completely paid off, you still are required to have minimum insurance. No one owns the vehicle but you. It's completely paid off. Even if your vehicle is financed, you're required to have full coverage. Full coverage. Why? You're just transporting yourself for personal reasons. For those with a vested interest. But I digress, my friends. That is a whole other story. Let's take our country back and take back our God-given right to live in true freedom, liberty, and justice for all. I'm Todd Foster reporting for Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. See you next time.
I mean, my man stated that it's very clear. He was offered a couple statements. I mean, he called everyone a driver, which if you're a driver, that means you get paid to drive. Like a teacher, a professor, one who professes, masturbator, one who I don't think you get paid for that. But again, is a driver's license required by law to drive in the United States? Listen to this show over and over again. Download it. Share it with your friends. Please. I'm just tired of personally needing something like this to happen for me to fucking wake up. That shit is crazy. That's not cool. So we have to definitely start to realize that we can do better. I'm going to try to do a show almost every day. I'll see if I can do it around this time, 2 o'clock. Past shows are pretty intensely good. So, So I'm going to do my best to support my sisters, especially because they're out here being manhandled and there's no men to protect them. So I have to let y'all know that I'm here, and I'm pretty fucking great. And this shit fucking hurts, yo. Tired of it. Tired of it, man. It's time we fucking wake up. I don't know how the only thing I can do is fucking keep supporting my peoples. I think Minister Enki's about to call in right now from New Covenant and stuff like that. Maybe he can help us out. This shit is fucking crazy, dog. And frankly, I'm personally tired of it, and it hurts, and at times I feel powerless, and I want to support my people, and we don't even know how to support ourselves, because we're out here supporting systems that hate us, and we don't even exactly know it, and we don't know why. And we didn't do anything to these people for them to treat us this way. Dang, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to have a lot of things I'm working on right now. So, peace, Minister Enki. Hello? Hey, peace, Minister Enki. Thank you for calling in real quick. I know it was last minute, but I just wanted to hear your words on the Korrynn Gaines, what happened with her and stuff like that. And then also, I know you're working on a lot of stuff on your page. If you could promote that real quick. We got like 10 minutes left, if that.
I'm sorry, I ain't first there.
Well, about the Korrynn Gaines, who just got killed by a cop for trying to exercise the right to travel. If you could just say a few words for the people to encourage them and keep them focused, that'd be great.
Well, I mean, it's not a matter of, in my humble perspective, it's not a matter of that listen to me or follow, because I get it. People are asking me a certain type of question. People are wondering why I'm not commenting, why I'm not really going hard, going on socializing. And there's a reason. When these things happen, and this is one of the things that they teach. This is textbook on Wall Street. Like all of the brokers, they learn this. Where the largest opportunity to gain is. So when a lot of things happen and begin to distract you, that is the time that you have to set your alarm clock for it. That is it's so up. That's when you wake up and become alert. That is the time or heightened states of awareness. That is time for us to be who we say that we are. That is the time that we come alive and put the petty prisoners away, get back focused inward, not outward. Inward in our lives, because that is the biggest thing. I think that we're not forward thinking enough, meaning we've been from on who we are so much that those of us that are going to get it have got it. What we need to do now, focus on cultivating individual resources, sure that one can add, making sure that everyone has something that they can come to the table with besides an attitude about what's going on. What is it that you can contribute? We got it. We know the laundry list of problems you got. What solutions can you contribute to? How can you contribute? Is it elbow grease? Is it a resource? Do you have a talent, an art? Can you repair? Can you build? Can you create? Engineer? What can you do? What can you do? Because that is the thing that's going to be a key. As people are starting to say, fuck the system and really start thinking about implementing ways to reshape or escape the system, what is it that you can do now? Because it really comes down to self-responsibility, and this is one of the key reasons why attention to the people that are listening help is inward. Focus on your health, focus on your wealth, focus on your entrepreneurship, focus on your parenthood, focus on your core unit, and make your core unit as resourceful as possible. And when it comes to nutrition, I notice the biggest problem with children. There's a couple of things that bother me. I see a lot of people doing transition or full body transition master, but they never show their children, right? So you have a whole bunch of adults changing their body, being healthy, still taking their children to McDonald's and Wendy's. That's crazy stuff. So that's one of the things that drives me crazy. But that's not even my main issue. My main issue is that a lot of people are working with their children, are trying to get their children to eat healthy. But the problem is always everyone else. Everyone else. So, for instance, I get a lot of women that say, child does great with me, or my children do great with me, but when I take them to their dad's house, when I take them to their mom's house, when I take them to their babysitter, or when they're in school during the daytime, that's where I have the issues at. Or vice versa for men. Like, no, we're doing good, but when I drop back to his mom's house, it gets crazy. Or, so those are the issues. And the main issue to me is that we've never had a on nutrition in terms of managing. The children are now nutritionally sound, and that gives them them and you as a parent a sense of security and freedom. That's where freedom is. That's how knowledge sets one free. Instead of trying to remote control, they're eating and micromanage. No, program them. Boom. So they know what they can ready to do. They eat this, they have this type of reaction. This going to make them sick. This going to make them sleepy. This going to make them drowsy. This going to give them a headache. This going to make them go to the bathroom. Boom, 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 boom. This going to make them fat. This going to make them stubby. Like, they know all that. So now when they out, they might still do something a little, but they know they're going to be responsible for it and how their body feels. And that's going to shape a much healthier and confident community. And once we build that self-esteem, all of these things play a key role. Self-esteem of the people begins to increase as we begin to love ourselves a little bit more. We begin to venture into entrepreneurship as a modus operandi that becomes an imperative instead of a lofty goal or something that's trendy. Because as a healthy individual, you have the original declaration of life that all living things are entitled to, which is preservation of the self. And everybody should be in entrepreneurship because nobody should spend their entire life building somebody else's dream. That is another that's a very advanced mental form of slavery where, hey, give me the best 30 years of your life, and then I'll send you a few dollars every month, retirement, boop, boop, boop. Nah, that's crazy. No,
spend the best years of your life investing in yourself. But we can't do that because we can't think properly. I mean, it's just the incredible gunk that the morticians, I have morticians I speak to, the incredible levels of gunk that's coating people's brains. The sections of people's brains that are like coated in lesion and pus, and it's crazy because of the things we're eating. People don't realize how it affects their mental state, how it then translates to your endocrine system and affect your emotional state. You know, all of these things very, very tied together in an intricate way. So, you know, we got a lot of things to clean up, but those are things we need to internally to strengthen ourselves so that we are prepared to do the things that we know the world is telling us we need to do.
Straight up.
And all that is standing up on our own 2 feet and making a basic declaration. No, I'm taking. Mr. Inky seemed to have went off the line. It's probably my connection. But as you can hear, it depends on our entrepreneurial spirit first and foremost, and on what we can do as a people to get out of this system and not be a slave to it. So I'm going to connect with Miss